Now, respectfully, up to this point, we've been speaking to you, we've been speaking to Keith, we've been speaking to your conscious mind, your cognitive mind, your head. We've been speaking to the assistant manager. And you know, if you go to a Walmart and you're pissed off and you're not getting the service you want, or there's no trolleys, the assistant manager can't really do anything. It always has to go to the manager. So it makes no sense most of the time to speak to a middleman, because the middleman can't really make real decisions. So respectfully, in a few moments, I'm going to ignore you, at least this version of you, all right? And I'm going to speak to your unconscious, your subconscious, your monkey mind, and it's going to communicate to me, and it's going to communicate a little bit like this. I call this the cobra. So I'm going to get you, not now, but in a few moments, your elbow is going to be supported on a surface. Mine's on my knee right now, right? I call it the cobra because if I turn my hand to the side, it looks a bit like a cobra head. So as much of my hand that you can see right now, that's what I'm going to ask that I can see a little bit later when I do it with you. What's going to happen is I'm going to respectfully ignore you, because if you could have fixed this consciously with your brain up here, the bit you think you're supposed to be fixing it with, or in it, you would have done it by now. True or false?
True.
So respectfully going to ignore you. However, if you want to watch this consciously, you can. If you think you're going to get in your own way, you can close your eyes. If you really think you're going to get in your own way, like one of my clients called John, he's like, Luke, you don't understand. My mind's really going to get in my own way here. So he closed his eyes and he turned. Whatever you want to do is whatever you want to do. I don't mind.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is I'm going to ask your unconscious, your subconscious, the monkey mind, the child, the body, all different names for the same part, the manager, the CEO. I'm going to ask it to come online, and I'm going to ask it to take possession of your hand, those fingers, that wrist, that forearm, and every muscle, tendon, and ligament in between. You don't have to do anything, but just observe it. Once it's online, I'm going to ask for it to give me, but more importantly, you a sign. There's no expectation here. Whatever happens, happens. All that I ask you to do is allow it to happen. Equally, allow it not to happen. We're just going to see what happens. See if your unconscious wants to come out and play. Your only job is just be open, let it happen. Equally, if nothing happens, that's totally cool as well. And you'll observe it, you'll feel it, and I'll check in with you from time to time just to make sure you're comfortable, you're okay to continue, and what your true experience is in the moment. But right now, your conscious mind can take a little 10-minute break or so. Are you up for it?
Sure, absolutely.
Awesome. So Keith, if you wouldn't mind, with your left hand, make sure your elbow's supported on a sturdy surface. Make sure your hand is relaxed. Now, if I turn my hand to the side, you might be forgiven for feeling it's relaxed. It's not, it's tense. Here's what I mean by relaxed. Soft, soft. And you're just going to have your hand just like that. Then I'm going to speak to the hand. So let it just go super soft, super beautiful, lovely. Keith, is it okay if I ignore you now and speak to your hand?
Yes.
Lovely. And again, you can watch, you can close your eyes, whatever you want. But now, respectfully, Keith, I'm going to ignore you. If I need to check in with this version of you, you'll know, because I'll say, Keith, and I'll ask you questions. But right now, respectfully, I'm going to ignore you, and I'm going to speak to your unconscious, subconscious, your monkey mind. Speaking to you now, Keith, super conscious mind, the unconscious, the subconscious, the monkey mind, the part that beats the heart, the part that breathes the lungs, the part that thinks the thoughts, the part that stores the memories, the part that moves the body, the part that's really in control. I want to speak to you now. Now, listen, I appreciate that maybe no one's ever spoke to you up to this point, so I'm sorry about that. I also want you to understand that I see you. I know how powerful you are. I know that you really run the show. So I have nothing but the utmost respect for you. And my only job here today, or whenever we chat, is I want to help you. I want to better understand you, so you and I can better serve Keith in having a more gleeful life. That's my only intention. So knowing that now, please come online and take possession of that hand, those fingers, that skeletal system, the tendons, the ligaments, the muscles, the veins, the space, the air, and everything I'm forgetting to say in that hand, that forearm. That's right. And when you come online, if you wouldn't mind showing me that you're online in a way that I can see, that's right, in a way that Keith can feel, I'd like for you to involuntarily move a finger, a thumb, a wrist, up or down, left or right, any way that you want, just to show me that you're online. Keith, keep doing what you're doing. Great. Because there's a lighting thing that's going on with the side of your hand. Is your little finger moving right now?
Yes.
Thank you. Can I get you to bring your hand in just a little bit more? Because it blurred and I wasn't seeing your little finger. Thank you so much. Are you okay if we continue?
Yes.
Thank you. Keith's unconscious. Thank you so much for showing me that you're online. Listen, I appreciate you're really busy. You got a lot of stuff that you got to do in Keith's neurology, his mind and body. So thanks for taking some time out to communicate with me today. Really do appreciate how strong and powerful you are. If you wouldn't mind, and if it's okay with you, could I ask that you take more possession of the muscles, tendons, ligaments, fibers, skeletal system in that hand, that forearm, and slowly but deliberately start to twist and rotate and move and pivot as far around to face Keith's face as you feel comfortable. That's right. Twisting, turning, moving, winching further and further around towards Keith's torso in a way that feels right for you. That's all right. It's twisting, it's moving, and you can keep twisting Keith's hand around as far as you feel comfortable. And even as you do that, I'm going to speak to the other version of Keith now. Keith, can you feel that?
Yes.
Keep your hand where it is, but open your eyes, look at your hand. Did you move that consciously to make me happy, to play along?
No,
It just
absolutely
happened?
not. Absolutely not.
Are you okay if we continue?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Keith's unconscious. Thank you so very, very much. Really appreciate it. Listen, like I say, I know you're really busy, so thanks for taking some time out with me today. And I acknowledge how strong you are and that you really control everything. Certainly not me, certainly not Keith's consciousness. You're the one that makes him breathe. Otherwise, every night he'd go to bed. Actually, the first night that Keith went to bed and slept as a little baby, he would have died because his conscious mind's offline. But you kept him breathing every night, even when his conscious mind was offline. So thank you for that. If you wouldn't mind, and if it's okay with you, would you mind just giving Keith a little wave just to kind of say hi to him? That's right. Very good. Keith, did you feel that?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Are you okay if we continue?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Hey, Keith's unconscious, subconscious monkey mind. Thank you so very, very much for listening to me and playing with me today. I really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind, if it's okay with you, would you return that hand to the start position so the fingers are facing away from Keith towards me, towards the computer or the phone that we're speaking now? That would be lovely. That's right. Very good. Very good. Beautiful. Keith, I'm speaking to you now. What does this experience feel like for you?
I'm going to say out of body, for lack of a better. It's
Are you okay if we
quite,
continue?
yes.
Excellent. All right, lovely. And is it fair to say you don't feel hypnotized right now?
No, I don't feel hypnotized. No.
Let your hand do what it does. Just open your eyes, look at your hand. If you're not hypnotized, what's happening with your hand right now? Look at it.
I know. I don't know.
Does it almost feel that you're not controlling it, at least consciously?
I'm not doing any of that twitching.
Awesome. Are you okay if we continue?
Yes.
Cool. You're doing great, by the way. Keith's unconscious. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. What I'd like for you to do now is, if you wouldn't mind just settling down to a comfortable point with that hand so it can just be still temporarily, because I'm going to ask you some questions in a moment. These questions only require a yes or a no. And I'm going to ask you these questions and you're going to answer yes or no so I can better understand you and help Keith. So knowing that now, if I were to ask you a question and the answer was yes, show me what yes is to you. How would you move the hand for yes, the fingers for yes, or the thumb? Show me your yes. Up. Like, beautiful. Thanks so much. All right, lovely. Second question I need to ask you is, if I ask you a question and the answer's no, N-O, show me no and make it different from yes, please, so I can see clearly and understand you. Show me, thank you, an inward to rotation. Thank you. So show me yes again, please. Thank you so much. Hand up. And show me no, N-O again, please. Hand towards. Thank you so very, very much. Keith's unconscious, subconscious mind. Keith reports to me he has a problem using cocaine. He wants to stop, but he can't right now. Is it okay if we do some work around that to help Keith today? Yes or no? Thank you so very much. Now, having spoke to Keith a little bit and using my Inspector Columbo skills, I have a feeling that one of the driving factors for Keith using cocaine has something to do with unresolved sadness in his life. Is that true? Yes or no? Thank you. I thought so. Thanks very much. I'm glad that we're on the right page. Would it be okay for you now at an unconscious level to heal up any parts of Keith that need to be healed up inside, the healing up of which will allow him to resolve the sadness and take away the driving force of him using cocaine? Would you? Yes, thank you. I want you to start the process now. Take as much time as you need to clear up any sadness on any level that may affect this problem. And I appreciate sadness goes by different names: depression, hopelessness, feeling beaten down. All of it we're going to call sadness. Take as much time as you need. All right. But I want you to heal up, to let go, almost like there's a valve in the side of Keith's head to one of his ears that you can open up and let all that sadness just come out of the valve inside his ear on the outside. Take all the time you need, no rush at all. But when you've honestly cleared all the inappropriate sadness, then and only then give me a clear yes. Very good. Very, very good. Thank you so much. Is there any other emotions, events, beliefs that need to be cleared up, that the valve needs to be opened so it can come out the side of Keith's head? Is there anything, any other beliefs, any other emotions or trauma that needs to be healed today to ensure there is? Thank you so much. I thought so. Do whatever you need to do on the inside of Keith's neurology, his mind and body, the bit that you control. Delete, heal up, let go, let come out the side of his head like a valve. Anything that needs to be let go of, whether that be another emotion like anxiety or anger, being annoyed, anything like disappointment in himself or others, anything like hopelessness, like, oh, I'll never be able to succeed with this. Anything like that that could stand between him becoming drug-free and being gleeful. Any belief, any trauma that may have happened, or any other emotions, take all the time you need. I am not rushing you to let it come out that valve at the top of his head, or however best you deal with it. And when it's done thoroughly, and only then, you're going to give me a nice clear yes sign. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. I'm a big believer, if we take something away, we've got to put something positive in its place. All right. So knowing that now, would it be okay for you to increase that emotion called glee inside of Keith, so he has more glee each and every day, drug free? Is it possible for you to increase it? Yes or no? Thank you. Could you go ahead and increase it now to the appropriate level for Keith to feel that natural high, that natural glee? Honestly, take all the time you need to adjust it to the right level for him. And when it's done, please give me the yes signal and let me know. Thank you so very, very much. And just because I like to be thorough, is there anything else I've neglected to ask, or any other emotions, traumas, events from yesteryear, today, or potentially in the future? Is there anything else that needs to be healed, cleared up, let go of, in order? There isn't. Thank you so much. Wow. It answers before I've even finished the question. That's great. That's a great sign, by the way. Thank you so much. So I'm going to ask you something now, unconscious, superconscious mind. And I want you to be totally honest, not that you'd be anything else. But let me tell you, before I ask you, when I say I want to promise something, when I say promise, I expect your word to be your bond. So I never want you to promise me something you have no intention to fulfill. I never want you to promise me something because you feel you need to get me off your back, or Keith, and you want to make us happy in the moment. I only want you to promise things that you have the absolute intention of following through. Is that understood with you? Yes or no? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So what I'd like now, would it be okay for you to dial down, to switch off the cocaine habit in Keith's mind, at least for the next week or two, or until me and Keith next speak, and then we can have another yes, thank you. And listen, when me and Keith work again together in the future, if you're happy with what you're doing, then you'll keep doing it. But if we need to change to a different behavior or a different pattern, we can swap it out at that point. Whatever's most comfortable for you. Is that understood? Thank you so very much. Listen, it's been a real delight working with you today. Thank you for being so open and free and communicating. It's been great to see what you're capable of doing. So over the next week or two, or until me and Keith next work together, whenever that may be, switch off, dial down, delete that cocaine habit once and for all. Perhaps you'll replace it with Keith going for a walk, but it's going to be a really pleasant, happy walk. Perhaps he goes a different way on his walk, like the different way you're working in his head to allow him to feel glee in the absence of the sadness, with the absence of the cocaine that we'll no longer do anymore. If there are any remaining bricks in that Jenga game called sadness, that right at the top there used to be a brick called addiction or cocaine. If there's anything left of that Jenga tower, I want you to pull out the brick now to make sure it just collapses down and takes with it all the sadness, all the hurt, all the anger, and the behavior of cocaine. And when that's done, and when you've truly removed the brick that collapsed this thing once and for all, taking all the time you want, then and only then, give me the yes signal. Thank you so much. What I'd like for you to do now, I'd like for you to take Keith out 3 hours from now, 3 hours from right now, whether he's doing a walk or something else. Allow Keith to see and feel whatever he's doing 3 hours from now, gleeful with the absence of that old behavior he used to do. That's right. Now take Keith out to a day from today. Allow him to see, hear, but most importantly, feel an hour from today, a day from right now. Doing whatever he's doing with the absence of the old behavior, but feeling gleeful. Now take him all the way out to 3 days from this very day, doing whatever he's going to do in 3 days with the absence of the old problem, but now in its place is glee. So really he's missing nothing because he's feeling glee. He just doesn't do the old behavior. Now take him all the way out to a week from today, feeling glee with the absence of the old problem, but nothing's really absent because we replaced it with glee. In its place is just natural glee. That's right. Very, very good. Very, very good. Thank you for spending time with us today. Thank you for communicating with me today. I do hope we become good friends, and I really hope that we get to speak again in the future. Now, when you're ready, and only when you're ready to give Keith control, whatever that is to you, give Keith back control of that hand. However, feeling like he had a 2-hour massage on his brain, hopeful and gleeful that things are going to change. and perhaps programming a different way to walk. That's right. Then, when our work is done, and only then, allow Keith's eyes to open and allow him to have control back of that hand, feeling like brand new.
That's pretty freaky.
That's got to be the most erratic hand I've ever worked with. No, it's beautiful. I love it. I knew you weren't faking it because, like, that was amazing.
Yeah, well, you can't fake that stuff unless I had palsy or something.
That was quite something for me to observe. How did that feel like for you, other than really weird?
Well, really weird. I mean, just sort of. I'm going to say, the conscious Keith was just vacant, and the subconscious was. I mean, anything that was suggested. I mean, it wasn't anything I was doing. It was just responding the way I'm assuming my unconscious responds.
That's exactly what we wanted. You did perfectly, staying out of the way.
Yeah.
Close your eyes. Imagine it's a couple of hours from now. Whatever you're likely to do in a couple of hours from now, notice yourself doing it without doing the old behavior anymore. And notice how you can still feel gleeful. Notice whatever happened to you in your life has happened. You can't change what's happened. However, that feeling that used to be there, that kind of heaviness, that's not there anymore. So everything may be the same, yet everything's different because the feeling is now just neutral at worst. How's that feel, Keith?
Yeah, good, refreshing.
Good job, buddy. Open your eyes. So here's how I want to leave it with you. I want you to message me in the next week. Let me know what you want to do. We can do the next session if you need a bit more time. If you don't need to do the next session, even better. But honestly, message me about a week from now. Let me know wherever you're at. I will work with you wherever you are. I really felt that this session went well today. We went over, but it was important because I went over for you today because I realized there was some work we needed to do, and I really care about you in this shift in your life.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
And I'm glad that we did, because I'm very excited to see what your unconscious, your subconscious has planned.
Now you were recording it, so you can show it to anybody you want to.
Only if you gave me permission. Otherwise,
oh no, I give you whatever. Sure, if that's something that you. I'm just saying. I
appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I record all of these, but I never put them out. But if someone's happy to do it, great. Thank you.
Well, sure. I mean, if honestly it's something you've never seen before, what the hell? I mean, it's whatever.
I've never seen a hand get that erratic before, which was, I'm like, wow. And it was at one point, because I think you blurred the background with the
yes, yeah. It's just.
Yeah, I couldn't see your little finger, and I was waiting for it to move, and it wasn't moving, but I had a sense. That's why
I should have moved this way before I started, so it was more in screen.
But my inkling was, I think something's going on. You confirmed that you moved it, and it was like, I was like, awesome, beautiful, good stuff, buddy. Lovely. So yeah, message me in a week.
Will do.
Know wherever you're at. All right.
Okay.
You've got one more session, so we can use it any way you want. Best case scenario is, Luke, I don't need it right now. So it's not that I'm putting you off. It's like, I generally don't need it. That I'm happy to keep it as an insurance policy if you need it. If you're like, you know what, I need to, I got to use it. I need it right now. We'll use it. If you need a bit more time, whatever, let me know. But not that you will, but be careful. And I don't think this is going to happen. Is my gut feeling. But if you get into the feeling of, you know what, I haven't been perfect this week. There's still been some issues. I don't want to waste the session, and I don't want to feel that I've let Luke down. By the way, you're not letting me down, because it's all about you. In the unlikely event that stuff comes up, let's do the session, because it means you're in the middle of your shit, and we can clear it up. That when you don't want to use it, but you need it, is the time to use it. If you're like, no, I'm fucking amazing, Lou, I'm doing great, by all means, I'm happy to put that on hold, and you never use it, or you use it for something else, or an insurance policy. But wherever you decide, I'm here. But just be careful not to move into the trap of the stuff that I just said.
Got it. That's it. Okay, sir.
Good session,
Thank
buddy.
you.
I look forward to seeing you soon and hearing from you. All right.
Thanks very much, Luke. Thank
Bye,
you.
Keith.
Bye-bye.